Welcome back here to the Team Mac Fitness Workshop for another Friday video. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Videos are every Friday and put them up around 11:30 AM. Over the course of the last while, with the videos coming in, with the equipment that I use, I've got some messages in wondering what would you do if you didn't have access to a gym or you didn't have access to the equipment that I use in the videos that we've put up. Today then I've decided to just go through some exercises that you can do with resistance bands. So we have 3 different kind of resistance bands here, which would generally see you through most exercises. With the purple one, black one and red one. The red one is less resistance, black one a little bit more, purple a little bit more. Now you can of course get the next one up from the purple, which would be the green one. These go in price of from around €6, €8 into around €10–11 depending on where you get them. The green one then is a little bit more expensive. If you're going to invest in equipment and you don't have much space at home and you can't obviously afford maybe dumbbells or bars or plates, things like that, you can actually get in a really good workout with resistance bands. And even if it's a case of that you need lack of time to go to gym, you might have gym membership, you might have access to gym, but you just need something on those other days where you need to get in maybe a quick 30 minutes and stuff like that. Most exercises can actually be done with the resistance bands, maybe with just a little bit of thinking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through some exercises you can do, and I'll put up what they are on screen as well, and yeah, we'll run through them and we should get through nearly every exercise. The first one then with the purple band is what we're going to try would be a hex deadlift. So it's exactly the same kind of setup as you would do with the bar. It transfers across well. So if you've never used a bar and you actually start with the resistance bands, the technique is the very same, except with the weight coming up, it's obviously with the resistance bands, you'll feel the resistance the whole time. Even when you stand up, there'll be a little bit of pull on it. Usually when you go down with the weight, with the bar, and hits the ground, the effort kind of comes off it. So the first one. So what we're going to do is just going to step on the band here. And as I said, it's exactly the same setup as a conventional deadlift with a bar. You're going to stand up and back down. And you can feel the resistance, quite a good resistance off the purple band there for what we call a hex deadlift. And even if you wanted to change that up and do more of a kind of a straight bar setup, you can hold the resistance band in front, and we can stand up and back down. Same idea for resistance for a deadlift, which would be kind of the setup if you had the bar in front. So it's very simple to do that. Even with one band, you can get a couple of different resistance, because obviously the more you stretch the band, the harder it's going to be. So if I wanted to do the hex deadlift with less resistance, I wouldn't spread the band out as much or hold it as much, and it would actually turn out to be a little bit easier. You can even, next one then, we might try then with the black one, with your shoulders. Once again, we're stand on, so most of the things we'll try and do is, with the resistance band, is use the anchor point with our feet, so that you don't actually have to use stuff to tie on, because at home you might have something sturdy to put the resistance band on, which is very important because you don't want to hook around the door, someone open the door when they're coming in. You don't want to hook around something that you think might not move, but with the resistance band, with the extra little pull, it might actually move. So you might have something as sturdy as a rack. You're better off using the anchor points. Plus, they're great to bring on holidays, or if you're going away for a couple of days and you need to get in a workout in a hotel room or wherever, a couple of minutes with a resistance band is great, just to take up much room in the suitcase. Next then is shoulder press. So we're going to bring this up to either side. We're going to be able to press up, and that's going to form some resistance on the shoulders as well. Now, like that, you won't be able to do a variation of every exercise you can do in the gym, but this is the thing about covering yourself up. So if you need to add more intensity, you can obviously add more reps. You can go sets of 12. Like that, you can use the different colour bands for different kind of resistance too. That's the shoulders. Next one then would be for the upper back. So we can pop the band down again. You can hold it in your nice upper back position, which would have been in a different video, and we can roll it up and back down, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Now that'll be the upper back. We can once again stand on the band, come down to one side, and we can even get our one arm row in. And of course you can change sides and do the other side of that. So that will work predominantly your lats, upper back rolls off your back. We're after getting the shoulders in there. Then if you want to add in some of the arms, once again standing on the band, it can dictate the resistance that you get off it. We can curl them up and back down. We can get the heel, hook the heel in on the band, bring the band up behind, and now we're gone into some tricep extensions. So that'll be the triceps covered. Next then will be your resistance on your squat. You'll have to put it over the head, keep them holding. And now as we squat down into our normal squat stance and back up, you'll feel the resistance as we're popping up. So it mimics the weight of the bar that you'll be pushing up against. Now if you want to do, of course, what we done one week, I showed you with the landmine, we done one-legged RDLs. You can use the resistant band from that video where we hooked it on in underneath us, and it gives a little bit of resistance for that one-legged work there. But of course, one-legged exercise can be done on body weight. You're still getting a good effect to it there. But you can also hook that in this side and hold it with that leg there, so it kind of mimics what we were doing with the landmine in that video. As you're going down, you're going to pull the band up, pop up and back down. Simple as that. In our warm-up video, we used the bound hamstring in our warm-up. That would be the same idea. You can work your hamstrings that way. A nice hip hinge forward, stretch the hamstring, use the resistant band then to pop up. Just gives it a little bit more resistance. So that would be your shoulders we got. We got our lats, our upper back, a deadlift variation, some squat variation, some one-legged stuff. Same then if you wanted to, of course, do one-legged squats. You can also go down into, say, some piston squats. Now with the resistant band, you can't really, or I suppose I haven't thought of it yet. If you want to leave a comment below and you've got a good one-legged squat variation, use the resistant band. That would be great. Just to let people know there is one. And I might do a video on it then if someone comments on it and look into that exercise. If you want to do, of course, your chest workout, you can always pop the band behind, hook it into the hands, and you can press out and back in. So you're getting a little bit of chest. You can also bring the arms across, and you'll be getting a little bit of chest adduction there across the body. You can also use the resistant band in this position for your press-ups. If you get down in the press-up position and pushing away from the ground, you can also use that for resistance for a chest exercise. So as you can see, nearly all exercises and muscle groups can be done. That's just an example of some there to get you started. If you want to do a full set, you can do all them exercises. You could do 3 12s, you could do 3 10s. You know, the reps, extra sets will add more intensity. If you only have one band, you can add more reps to create the intensity. If you have the different sets of bands, you can use a higher resistance, and that will create more intensity as well. So for a very small input of money, like I said, around €6 for the red one, about 8 for the black, it depends where you buy them, of course, maybe around 10 for the purple. Then when we move up maybe to the green band, the really thick band, which I think might be a little bit too much if you're starting off as well for it, so that's a little bit dearer. But if you got those 3, or even one of them to start with and work through the exercise, it's a great option to have at home. If you're bringing on holidays and you want to get a workout in as well, it's great to put in the bag, bring with you. And it's a nice cheap way to start getting moving at home. And and it does transfer across most of it to what you'd be doing with dumbbells, whether it be shoulder pressing with dumbbells, your back row. It's the same technique, it's the same setup for the exercises, just you're trying to create a little bit of tension with the resistant bands. So I hope that has helped get people started, maybe resistant bands, home workouts. I'll give people ideas of stuff you can do if you bring a resistant band on holidays. That's this week's video done. Thanks for watching again, and quickly, if you're still here, you can subscribe at the bottom. Thanks, and we'll talk soon next Friday again.